I'm sure that all their lives they've been told how lucky they are. Lucky to have P. Diddy, Sean Combs, as their father. And yes, I'm sure growing up in his world had its perks. The lavish parties, the private jets, the finest education. But what people don't understand is that there's a special kind of pressure that comes with being his child, especially now that the world is constantly tearing him apart. Now, this bail hearing, the most recent one, it wasn't just about him, it was about his family too. And they knew the press would be there, the cameras would be flashing. And at first I thought that the reason they were holding hands is because they wanted people to pay more attention to their feelings instead of all the whispers, the trial, the reporters and the people that were standing by. But it's not just the Combs family. There may be some real psychology to it. Like many high-profile families, they mimic this same behavior when their loved ones is in legal troubles. We saw it back in 2005 at the Michael Jackson trial, where we saw him holding hands with his dad as they entered the courthouse. We also saw Janet and LaToya with arms locked around Michael as they entered the courthouse. This may have been something advised from their publicist or something in an effort to, garner sympathy from the public, to take the attention off the crime itself and to focus on love and the unity. I don't know, maybe they just wanted to hold hands for some reason. But these were just my thoughts. It may not have been just for show. It may have been a statement. It may have been their way of saying we're still a family, no matter what the headlines say, no matter how hard things get, we still have each other. Now, people need to see strength in moments of weakness. I get it. But I'm sure that his kids are devastated. Well, they're not quite all his kids, but whether they're adopted or his by blood, they're still his kids. Whether they're adult or adolescents, they're still his kids. And it's deeper than that. Like every time he's publicly ridiculed, every headline that paints him as a villain, it chips away at his kids, not just as his children, but as human beings. It's just a constant reminder where every mistake discovered about their dad gets turned into a meme. Some people think it's funny, mocking his missteps, questioning his choices, but they don't see the man behind the headlines, the man that they called their dad. They don't see the father who stayed up with them, or when they were sick, or the dad who made sure that every one of their birthdays felt special. And yeah, I know what the allegations are, but I ain't talking about Diddy. I'm talking about his children who may be suffering right now. And walking into that courtroom, it's not just for show, I'm sure. And it almost looks as if they're walking into a funeral, because in some ways they are grieving, not just for what he's going through, but just for how people are looking at him, perceiving him, right? It's like they're mourning the way the world once saw him, as this music mogul, a legend, a success story, right? But now people act like he's just a tabloid headline. And growing up with P. Diddy, I'm sure it wasn't always easy. Sure, there were the parties, the fame, but there had to also be a lot of pressure. Everybody may expect them to be just like him, right? Confident, successful, and unshakable. But behind closed doors, they were just kids. And he was just their dad, like any other dad, I guess. I mean, they all seem to love and care for him. So it's only natural that they support him no matter what the world thinks about him. And the hard part about this is trying to stay humble when your family's name is everywhere, right? When people assume that you have everything handed to you. And now, how do you defend someone who the world seems determined to tear down? And I know that his kids, as kids, didn't fully understand who their dad was until they got older. To them, he was just dad, the guy who gave them the best hugs and always made them laugh. But as they grew up, they started to see how the world treated him, the rumors, the lawsuits, the drama. And I'm sure they saw how all of this wore on him, right? Even if he never admitted it. And now, sitting in that courtroom, I'm sure that they feel like they're seeing it all come to a head. And people say that he's invincible, but he's not. None of us are. The world sees Sean Combs as this larger-than-life figure, bold, flashy, sometimes controversial, right? But they don't see the father who worked tirelessly to build an empire for his family. They don't see the man who's made mistakes, but he may also have spent years, trying to make up for them. And some of the older kids may catch it too, and it can be frustrating because the same people who praise him one day are the first to drag him down the next. Like Quincy, he's in the industry and he may just see this contradiction everywhere he goes. And to be honest, I really think that sometimes the world can forget to be human, right? These kids and these young adults, they're now without a mother and a father. And it's got to be really hard, to face the cameras, the stares, the whispers, and face the world all alone. And walking into that courtroom, I'm sure it's like walking into battle. The courtroom isn't just a place for their legal arguments, but it's a stage where the world is watching and judging them. And I'm sure that these kids are wishing that they could go back to having the family that they used to have before all of this. I don't know. I just feel that these kids or these children, these young adults, they deserve a chance to move forward in life, without the world putting them under a microscope. Every move that they make is dissected and every expression is turned into a headline. This isn't just about their father. It's about their young family, their legacy, and their future. We're not perfect, and neither are they. And we need to understand that these kids are going to stand by their dad no matter what the world says. Be good to yourself and to each other. Thanks for listening, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.